Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. Here's the punter, Rigoberto Sanchez, on to get us started, and we are underway from Indianapolis. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. Past the 20 for a short gain, second down. These two teams, they met in Houston earlier in the season with the Texans coming out on top. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's the first carry from Matt Breida. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, Mills. And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's 4th down. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And here's Rodgers on the return. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he's got room. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen, but we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him, over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. The Colts had 10 and 6 now on the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
Have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Mills now looks to throw on first down. And he finds Howard complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
First and 10, it's Pierce. Pushes him over, and he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And they'll go right back to Pierce. To the 36-yard line, stop there.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. And they'll try to throw here. Mills. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Bobby Okereke making that tackle. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished. Just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
They'll run here with Pierce. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, You might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Give left side for Pierce. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. On second and goal, Mills. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Interested to see what they dial up here. Third and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. On play action, Mills. And that is incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get sixes instead of threes.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Texans 3.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's McDonald off of the play fake. Going deep downfield for Ross. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Yeah, that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. That's caught by Howard. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A first down throw for Mills. Finds his man, it's John Mechie. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Running out of the gun here, Breida. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Handoff left side. Pierce. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes that's the danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. This offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Back to Taylor on 1st down. And he's got some space here. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and the lead is up to 18 now. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10. As opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
1st down, Mills. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Now a handoff for Pierce. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Going for it with Pierce. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. 9 yards that time.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Mills. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. They go play action. Mills. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks with career touchdown number 60. And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Throwing is McDonald. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
McDonald sets to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Texans will take over possession here up at the 44. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mills to Pierce. They set up the screen. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Mills now from the 50. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go to the ground again with Taylor. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Out of the gun, McDonald. And he fires one that's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. 20. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Once more, it's Pierce. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Here's Pierce. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
And you know it pains them to be this close. And you know they're going to want to go for it here. But they absolutely have to kick the field goal and get this back to a 1-score game. It's only logical.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
Fielded right around the 8. And able to get this out to the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 162 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
They go play action with McDonald. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that will bring up 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 35-yard line. They run once more with Taylor. Fights through it. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Tackled by Jonathan Grenard.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired. And
that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll try the left side with Taylor. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Running straight ahead, Taylor. Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Taylor. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. Blankenship's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Mills' throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Mills. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mills. And that's complete to Cooks. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Again, it's Mills. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And some space here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Mills on 1st down. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he's going to be met at about the 43. And this offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, here's Pierce. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
Well, there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Man, 216 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Again, it's Taylor. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
From the gun, it's Taylor. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
On the handoff, Taylor. 7 yards there and a first down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A give for Taylor running right side. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. On 4th down, McDonald. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 33. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Missed tackles may doom this team.
I just had a bad flashback. That's why I'm sitting up here with you right now. You've got to tackle him inbounds. You've got to wrap him up.
He's going to let it fly. And this is taken in at the 5. A huge play there for Houston. 55 yards. 1st and goal. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. They'll run here with Pierce. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Pierce. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on. And that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yeah, the opportunity squashed. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off. but they do know that in the future, they've got work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for the Colts, the win here in Week 18 gives them a pivotal 11th win on the year, running their final mark to 11-6. And now they'll await